Good morning. It is an amazing morning out there this morning. Um, we had a lot of fresh snow here yesterday, and the sunrise was incredible. And all of those new fluffy snowflakes are just glistening like diamonds out there. Just so incredible. I looked out the kitchen window when I was getting myself a cup of coffee this morning, and I said, "Ralph, go look, go look." And he goes, "What?" And then he got up and looked, and he agreed that it was such a beautiful morning. Sometimes you just have to take that time to get up out of that chair and go see what it is. It is nice. So if you are in Ontario, I'm sure you are already well aware of how beautiful it is outside this morning. So, have something really cool to talk about, sharing some fear with you, but also just to let you know, I am feeling amazing today and full of energy, despite the fact, maybe in spite of the fact, that it's been about 60 hours since I started my fast on Sunday night. So Ralph decided to join me in fasting this week, and we've been going since Sunday night. So I think we're around hour 58, 59 right now. So intermittent fasting, the way I do it is it's not like a water fast. I can break my fast with little things that aren't going to spike my insulin too much. So throughout the day, I might have 5 or 6 salted almonds, or I drink a lot of, make sure I drink a lot of water because fasting breaks up the fat. Our body taps into the fat cells in our body. It's not just about losing weight, though, it's about just resetting your whole body. So I love it. So I will have a few almonds throughout the day. You can drink coffee if you want to. You could put a little bit of milk or cream in there. No sugar, obviously, because that's just going to spike your insulin. But also, I'll have some bone broth at lunchtime with a bit of celery essential oil in it to support the digestive system. This is all about just really being kind to your digestive system, which houses our immune system, right? Affects our brain and our mood. The healthier your digestive system is, the better you're going to feel physically and emotionally. It really is. It really is. It's one of the secrets a lot of people don't know about. So yeah, and then I'm also preparing for my birthday plunge. And today I did a 5 minute ice cold shower with AC/DC blasted. I was bopping around in the shower. I know it's quite a visual, but yeah, and the cold water and the breath work with Wim Hof, what that does is it helps alkalinize your body as well. It helps deal with any inflammation in your body. I've just heard so many stories of people who are getting a lot of support with any kind of inflammation in their body with this cold water immersion. For me, it's just another way of feeling gloriously alive, and I love it. So that kind of gets me to the topic of fear. On Saturday, or maybe it was Friday, we were talking with Eddie via this whole Unleash Your Strengths community. It's so awesome. And Eddie was talking about fear. And so many people have heard or read the acronym FEAR for fear, false evidence appearing real. And we had a really great conversation about that because false evidence, meaning that it's not real. Well, these things are real, and we all have the capacity to deal with whatever is in front of us. I really like Eddie's way of thinking that it's not false evidence. It implies that we don't have what we need. So if you are scared of something, instead of letting it take take the wheel, put it in the passenger seat and acknowledge that you are afraid or nervous about doing something. And um, as we talked in this group, when fear appears, it means that you really care. It means that you care about the outcome. It means you've got something in the game. And that's okay. That's okay. When I think back of how many things I've been afraid of, growing up, we were put in a box. Things we were allowed to do, things that we weren't allowed to do. And a lot of that were fears that my parents had. You know, they lived through the war. They came to Canada, and they wanted to keep us safe and protected. And sometimes I laugh at some of the things that we weren't allowed to do because of worried about us. And they did the best they did. But I don't have those same fears now. And a lot of it was also associated with assumptions. People might assume this or assume that. So I just invite you, when you are afraid of something, go to the worst case scenario. What's the worst thing that can happen? Okay. And then think about what you have in your power to deal with that not happening. Or if that did happen, if that worst case scenario did happen, what could you do then? And I find that when you make your fear real, when you really explore what you are afraid of thoroughly, you realize that you probably have a few tools to deal with that. So right now there's a global fear. There's so much fear happening. I mean, we're talking double and triple masking, for Pete's sake. So a lot of people are very afraid of getting unwell right now. And when you when you deal with when you go to find out what you can, for me, being prepared is one of the best ways that I find myself preparing for fear or dealing with fear. So I do all the research. I find the information that supports things that can help me not be afraid. So in this case, I'm doing all the things to keep healthy, and I'm not afraid of getting sick. And then there are other things. So when I do things, the first time I went out on Facebook and started talking about what I feel is going on, I was scared. I was really scared. I was nervous about what some of my friends would think. And I lost a few Facebook friends. But I've also gathered an incredible community and people who also support the same way of thinking. And that's okay. I remember sometimes we let fear just stop us in our tracks, and if it doesn't stop you in your tracks, it can really affect your mindset, and it's just this heavy weight on you all the time, this dark gray cloud. I remember once I wanted to share some information with the kids, and they were teenagers at the time, and I was really, oh man, I was just agonizing over how I was going to tell them. I was so afraid. And when I finally sat down and talked with each of them, it was a no-brainer. I'd been wasting so much time being afraid of something that wasn't going to happen, right? Like, how stupid was that? So I've just found that not making assumptions about how people are going to think of me or how they're going to react is a big part of it. When it comes to my body, anything that I experience, what I'm afraid of, so I might not be jumping into our pond on February 10th, but I'm definitely going to be going into the pond. And what do I have to be afraid of, really? If it's too cold, I'll get out, right? It's all okay. And I just really want you to think about things that you're afraid of. And what's the worst case scenario? And what can you do about it? And making it very real instead of being this boogeyman in the closet just makes it so much easier to deal with. Put that fear in your sidecar, as Eddie says. Just really think about, what is it? And it just means that you care. Like, I cared about how my kids were going to feel about a situation, but they were my feelings, not theirs. Truthfully, I'm not really scared of a lot of things. I remember my daughter asking me once, "Mommy, what are you afraid of?" And there really isn't a lot that I'm scared of. There really isn't. And I get worried sometimes. I might experience a few anxious feelings. I'm a human being. This is what we're here for. But I'm not really scared of anything. I might be taken aback. I might sit back and reevaluate, but I'm not really scared of anything. Yeah, worst case scenario, I'll get an $800 ticket. Is it going to go through in court? Probably not. Worst case scenarios, something will happen, and if something breaks, it mends. Yeah, don't be scared. Don't let fear shut you down. We need to be open. We need to be alive. I don't know, maybe this is still the adrenaline rush from that cold shower. Maybe I'm just so very grateful for all the beauty outside my window this morning. But this is how we're meant to be feeling. This is how I want to be feeling for the rest of my life. Yeah. Do you? Do you want to feel like this? I would hope so. I'd love to help you in any way you can, anything that you need. Remember that scene in Harry Meets Sally, and they're in the restaurant, and there's that epic scene where Meg Ryan acts out this very incredible physical release And at the restaurant, one of the other guests says, I want what she's having. So if you want what I'm having, it's not expensive. You don't have to go too far. Just have to do all the things and be prepared. And when you're scared, I'll be here with you. I'm not going anywhere. Love you guys. I got to get going to the farm. I'm already a little bit late. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Get outside, move your body. Don't be scared. Figure out what you're scared of and how you might need some help. All right. And thank you to everybody. Had a few guests at my essential oil class. I have posted that as a Zoom if you're in Embrace Your Life and want to catch my recap of our family's top essential oils. You can do that. Not sure if I'll have time today, but sometime this week yet, I want to do a little Zoom on Reiki and just talk a little bit about that and share some of that with you as well. So wonderful Wednesday. Love you all. Don't be scared. But if you are scared, just means you care. Just show up.